up YouTube? Topaz Ace back for another daily review, and this one is to that Joey Badass, the Too Lit EP, and I'm giving this one the yellow light because I definitely do enjoy that vibe that's going on here, as he and Static Selector definitely do have good chemistry, as they both do similar types of music. He's just the producer, he's just the rapper and such, dude. It's just coming off of one of the projects that I feel as though is still one of the top 5 albums of the year or such, dude. This honestly didn't rank up high enough. Don't get it twisted, man. Whenever you step up your game, man, that's the new standard that you need to go ahead and continue to strive towards. He stepped up his game, and now he got to go ahead and continue to step it up, because all of his stuff is going to be compared to this quality project that he did not that long ago. It's just the way the game works. But let's go ahead and break this joint down from the top with that 500 bends. With this is easily my favorite song off this entire project, because that production with what he's saying and stuff on here, it just meshes so perfectly, and it's just overall solid on that aspect, as what he's ultimately talking about, the life of an individual that's shining out there in the game and such, man, as he's pretty much talking about how these chicks, they will only suck you when they're successful, which has a lot of truth to it, especially if you ain't got no game. Now, of course, if you got game, you can talk women into sex at all times and such, man, but yet, in the end, a lot of women are usually checking for the dude who got the money, who got the notoriety. But he's also saying, due to this success and such, man, he's going ahead and trying other things, like stuff that other guys really can't get away with and such, like how he telling a woman specifically, after I get done having sex with you, I'm gonna go have sex with your best friend and all of that stuff, dude. And that's something that most dudes cannot get, and honestly, to keep it 100, I tried, and it didn't quite pan out for me. The next song is that Too Lit, in which I'm not sure where he got this sample, if it is a sample to create this joint right here, but it just gives off the whole Narcos vibe, that Netflix show or whatever that was about Pablo Escobar, where now it's about to switch up into something else and such. But ultimately, that's music just comes off as something straight from there, and I kind of enjoyed that, as this song is ultimately about how no matter how bad things get, no matter how many people are against him, he's always going to continue to push and strive to become better and do bigger, better things and such, man. And he breaks it down into these 3 verses, where the first verse is pretty much him talking about how he's always going to be pushing forward. And it's pretty slick how he put it and such too, saying how he took a pen and turned it into a wand and then turned it into magic, pretty much defining how he pretty much just came up based off of the music that he writes and all of that stuff, dude, which that was pretty cool. The second verse, he's pretty much talking about how the government is ultimately against us as a people, and how they honestly want him to be talking about one specific thing, which is him just talking about how much fun and how much sex he's having with these women, but yet he does it in his own accord on this particular verse. And the last verse, he's pretty much talking about the rivals that potentially are lining up against him and such, talking about how he got stuff for them whenever they show their faces, and he's going to continue to keep pushing, man. Overall, interesting concept. The next song is that Love Is Only a Feeling and such, and the best way to define that would be with his own bars and such, man, where he says at the very beginning of this track, pretty much the love that he has for this woman goes beyond just sex, and this is something that's rather important, especially when you're trying to tie yourself to an individual, because quite frankly, man, the looks and all of that will fade away, especially if this woman is deceptive by nature, like as the Kardashian dude who Black China he's trying to go in on and all of that stuff, dude. Even the dopest chicks get cheated on and such, dude. It's very important for you to find somebody who matches your intellect, that matches your energy, somebody that's going to help you continue to push forward. These are the people that you need to go ahead and get with, not the people that's just sexy that you want to have sex with. As in the second verse, he just talks about an experience that he's having with this woman, where they're ultimately getting high and going to another level and such with it. Like, very interesting joints, man, but honestly, the only song off of this that I'm going to keep is that 500 bends, and it's just not that strong of a project in comparison. But a quick recap here, man. The positives that I'm taking from this is you're getting some pretty decent concepts, man. You're getting one overall good song, man. But yet the negatives is it's just not that great of a project. But this concludes today's review, man. And now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer Young Tech before we take some of your questions. So a bunch of people have been wanting me to review that Zero No Love Boulevard joint, man, and I really want to get to it, man. It's just days like this where I'm getting projects like this that's taking me much longer to review and all of that, and there's multiple of them. It kind of pushes that Zero project back, but eventually I may get to it. I'm not making any promises. And then a lot of people wanted me to touch on Kanye leaving Tidal and such, dude, which it makes sense in the grand scheme of things, because you can tell he harbors a lot of hatred towards Jay-Z and such, just based off of how he went on stage and was ranting and all of that stuff, dude. But then the news came out saying that it's because Kanye West delivered that The Life of Pablo a little later, that he thought he was going to get some money or whatever, but yet he had a deadline that he missed, that this money was tied to that. And because of that, I ain't even mad about him not getting the money and such, dude. Because quite frankly, if it's in your contract that you have this deadline that you need to meet in order to get this money, you cannot show up late and expect anything better, dude. It's in black and white. But if that's the thing that pushes him over the edge, man, it is what it is. And I'm sure Jay don't even really care, because he just came out point blank dissing that man. But in the end, man, this is somewhat of a big loss, because Kanye was a main event attraction for Tidal and such, man. When he dropped The Life of Pablo, he doubled the viewership and such, man. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.